Hello and good morning, everybody. Boy, I'm making some videos back to back. Today is May 27th, 2018. It's my day 2.017, and I'm definitely plumping up. I've noticed every time I look in the mirror, I'm a little bit fatter. What happens when you're... Anyway, this is going to be a very, very short video because I have forgotten my coffee in the other room. So usually I'm sipping something as I speak. But I want to make a video real quick about visualization. What I'm going to call creative visualization or retrospective visualization. That sounds really better. And I haven't really thought this through, so it may be a little off. But as I was laying in bed this morning and listening to the birds, I was in my mind thinking about some things from my past and reimagining them, reliving them, but doing a little bit of Photoshop, if you will, to them. For example, Christmases in the past. And then let's use a very generic example, so it won't be me or you in it. But imagine, if you will, a young trans girl, trans person, trans woman as a younger person. Okay, if you're like me, you're in your midlife, you're in your mid-40s. But imagine a Christmas that maybe you got as a gift from a family member, a basketball or an army man or something that was stereotypically gender specific. Okay, that maybe you got and you were happy because it's Christmas. You don't know what the present is when you get it. And you kind of go through the motions. And I think, again, as human beings, when we get something, we get excited anyway. And in my case, I grew up with a sister, and I just always had envy for what she got. Whether it was clothes, a dress, or dolls, or whatnot. So I guess I have to put myself into this a little bit. So in this a retrospective visualization, if you can visualize for the moment, you might have to close your eyes. I'm going to close my eyes, okay? So you can make funny faces at me if you want. I won't. I might be watching though. Anyway, so let's close our eyes for a moment, and let's visualize our family. And this may bring back some residual baggage and resentment or negativity, unfortunately. But let's paint the picture in our minds of a Christmas. And if you're like me, you might have been wearing some pajamas, or I think usually I would wear a t-shirt and shorts to bed, but we're going to do some photoshopping, editing here. I want you to, let's picture ourselves in our bed. We throw over the covers because it's Christmas morning. And instead of pajamas or whatnot, as a little girl, we're going to, and that might be the first Photoshop edit, change your gender, okay? If Thanos can snap his finger and half the universe disappears into dust, we can do this in our minds. So imagine Christmas morning, you wake up and you throw over the covers and you look down and you're wearing a night shirt or a gown of some kind, okay? Maybe your fingernails are painted pink, who knows, okay? And climb out of bed, put on your little bunny slippers or whatever. It's your imagination, you can put whatever you want. And you go out to the Christmas tree, and your family is there, and you are a little girl, okay? and you get to open up your Christmas presents, and um, maybe instead of the things that maybe you had gotten that were gender wrong, for lack of a better word, imagine it, replace that for the moment. Use your Photoshop up here. Use your brain to reimagine that picture, and you're opening up the present, and inside is a doll or something that is in touch with the girl that you are in this visualization. And perhaps, and this maybe require super editing software up here, imagine your family accepting you and loving you as the girl that you are in this visualization. And I have found myself, and that's an example. Okay, so is it historical revisionism? No. But for the moment, we're using our Photoshop up here to change some things, some details. And I've found myself, like I said, since I thought about it this morning, I found myself doing it on other things. Maybe prom. There's a big event in a young lady's life. Prom or homecoming or whatever. Use visualization to maybe change some details. And would this lead to some negativity, like, oh, I wish things were different, or I hate this, or pain? That I don't know, but I've tried to, like I said, I haven't quite thought this through yet, but I've found, just with a little bit of visualization, number one, it's kind of fun to try and recreate things, but number two, it makes me feel better, and might make you feel better too in your life. I'm reminded somewhat of the movie AI, a little Ozmet kid, which I absolutely hated the movie when I saw it, and I won't sit down and watch it again. But at the end of the movie, which is like what we were waiting for him to experience his mother, or what the memory, and he gets to relive a day with his mother as a child, as a real boy, Pinocchio, right? And so that's kind of that visualization. It's something that we know is not real. It's not whatever, but I think it's an opportunity to go back and revisit some things. And I don't know. Like I said, I haven't quite thought it through, but it really just kind of struck me as being interesting, to maybe some memories that way. Graduation for me, I unfortunately, well, let's move on from there. Graduation was something where I graduated, and cap and gown, and I put on a suit and everything, and a revisualization of that would be for me to be in a nice dress with nice heels, flats for me because I'm so damn tall. But again, to be, to walk up the stage, and to be, you would hear your name, get your diploma, would be another visualization of it. But I think for me, I'm more interested in like when I was little, little boy being little girl. Girl Scouts is another example for me. I did a lot of Boy Scouting when I was younger. Eagle Scout. I did every job. I mean, I was a junior assistant scoutmaster for a while, and then I went on to become. I was assistant scoutmaster, and I was a scoutmaster, and I was a unit commissioner, and I did a lot of volunteer work with Boy Scouts. And some of those memories as a scout, Boy Scout, replacing those somewhat with what would it be to be a Girl Scout, to wear a Girl Scout uniform, to be a little brownie. I always wanted to be a little brownie when I was younger. Cub Scouts, instead of being Cub Scout, be a brownie. Wear the little outfit, the cute little dress, and the beret and everything. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Visualize that. What would that be like? And use your imagination to visualize yourself perhaps selling cookies, or going to a family member and being embraced. Um, Maybe people that have passed on. Um, I had the opportunity to come out to my grandmother before she passed away, and she was adamantly opposed to my transitioning. So I don't really have a happy memory there, but um, I can think of another memory. That's where I'm saying there's a potential for negativity and pain in this process. But I can share with you a story. When I was a little boy at one point, um, my grandfather, who I love dearly, grandfather wanted to take a picture. And I believe it was a Sunday picture. And so my sister was in a dress, and she looked beautiful, and cute little shoes, little purse, little clutch purse and everything, little hat. Might have been an Easter photo. And there I was, in a vest and a bow tie, and I think I had probably what would be knickers on, shorts, but guy shorts and whatnot, and dress shoes, cloggy dress shoes, and my grandfather wanted to take a picture of us for his memory. And I can remember fighting it. I mean, this probably was first or second grade, and I fought it. And I looked back on the memory about a week or two ago, and I'm like, I wonder, why was I such a stubborn buttwad, you know? And I think I think it was jealousy of my sister. And I didn't want to be in a photograph as a little boy. I wanted to be the little girl. And so, again, as part of that retroactive revisualization, um, use your Photoshop up here and paint that picture, and for me, can I visualize myself as a little girl, a younger sister to my sister, and wearing a dress very similar to hers, and to be accepted and loved. And in the case of the photo with my grandfather, perhaps imagining that, again, the emotion of him wanting to remember us as children is still there. But he would remember and love me as a little girl, and support me perhaps as growing up into becoming a young lady and a woman and whatnot. Now, he's passed away too. But again, I think there's some visualization. Like I said, it's not. And I just thought about this too. You know what it is? It's barf. Isn't it? Isn't it barf from I don't think it was the Avengers. I think it was Age of Ultron, Tony Stark, or was it Captain America: Civil War? I don't know. But remember his technology, it was allowed him to go back into his memory and an experience. That's kind of what it is, isn't it? A visualization of what was, but a little bit of editing. And again, I don't think for myself it's not meant to replace the memory, and it's not there to alter the memory, especially of those people that maybe have passed on and they're not in our lives right now. But I think it makes me smile a little bit to think about some of the things that maybe could have been, and maybe that could be fuel for the present moment, to do things in the present. Obviously, we can't go in the past and change things, but can that provide some fuel for the present moment to embrace ourselves in our lives and whatnot? I don't know. But I thought I would share that. That's kind of my thought of the day. Yeah, so what else is going on? I'm really in love with Druids now. I was curious about Druids before, and there was a book that I thought was out of print, because it was, and about Druids. and it's a course. It's an educational course in Druidry. If you wanted to become a Druid, and along with the colleges and whatnot that actually do exist today. And I was sad because it was out of print. I couldn't find it, and so I had given up on it. This is probably about 6 months ago. And lo and behold, I was in the library or the bookstore with my daughter the other day, and mysteriously, ooh, they had a copy of it, which was not there 2 weeks ago. So, because I frequent that bookstore quite frequently, and I go through the New Age section, I'm always tempted to alphabetize it, because people go through and just willy-nilly put stuff. You have a little bit of tarot, and then there's about dreams and spells and this, and then there's a Necronomicon stuck in there, and you're like, what the hell is the Necronomicon doing with spells, etc., etc. Anyway, so again, like I said, it kind of was like, ooh, Twilight Zone. And yeah, I'm digging the Druids. I really am. It's got my inner witch in a little bit of turmoil, because not turmoil, but much like anything, there are parts of Wicca that I don't necessarily jive with, and I don't think you have to be a witch. But there's some stuff in the Druids book that's like, it's so far, it's there's some tick marks that are like, wait a minute, this is more in line with my spirituality. Whoa. So anyway, thought I'd share that with you. So on this day, I hope everyone is doing super duper. I hope that everything is going well in your own journey. And obviously, I would encourage you, as always, to become the best version of yourself as you define it. Not what other people define it, as you define. Become the woman or the man that you want to be. And as I am accepting my transition into a fat woman again, I will walk the path with you. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a maiden, and I'm not a crone. I'm definitely a mother. I'm in the middle. Hmm. Take it. Take it. All right, so put another quarter in the machine. I started saying that yesterday. I kind of like it, You put a quarter in, see how far you can get. All right, my friends. Good luck. Till next time.